Hey everyone, welcome to our fireside chat. Today we're going to be chatting with somebody that the team's known for a while now, ever since some conferences. We've been chatting for a bit with Lee and the whole Harmony team about launching there, and we're very excited to be launching today. We go over our collaboration together, what Harmony's doing, and how we're going to build a path together forward. We're very happy to have you. We've had a lot of communication between our teams. We've been waiting a long time to be able to launch on Harmony, and now we have all the tooling, everything's ready. All the questions have been answered, and we should be launching our first vaults pretty soon now, right, Paul?
Yeah, but let's make them wait for the alpha.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
You're not
let's
supposed
start
to
with like
reveal that yet.
yeah, maybe like in the middle, after the 30-second ads. But tell us a little bit about yourself. I know we know you, but maybe some of our audience members are not aware, how big stuff you're building, the DAOs and everything.
Yeah, thanks. So it's been a great journey. Obviously, since meeting you guys in Paris at ECC, but we've been on this journey for 3.5 years. Yeah, meeting Ben. We've been on this journey for 3.5 years. With actually probably even longer than that. Starting in 2017, when we thought about the scalability issue in blockchain and architecturing a whole chain from the ground up to be more scalable, using sharding and using proof of stake. And so Steven was the person that really wrote the white paper, created the initial vision, got the project going. And that's what we've been building for now 4 years. And we launched mainnet in 2019. We've been we launched open staking 2020, EVM compatibility. This year is really about growing the ecosystem. We have a $300 million ecosystem fund that we've been giving out grants to, and just really helping incentivize people to build. So that's been really a good time in the ecosystem, just building everything up, and working with folks like you guys has been really the best.
Right. So I guess Steven, he's the one who pushed the idea of sharding and proof of stakes.
Yeah, exactly. So at the time, we were reading a lot of white papers and research paper, and he really read through everything that was in the industry, out in the market. And the idea is to put the best research into production. So basically, there are a lot of good research in the world. Most of it never gets used actually in a product, unfortunately. Like probably 99% of it never gets used. So it's really about putting that and putting it into production. And our passion is really actually about users at the end, developers and users at the end of the day, where they have something that they can build on. And then we're really still very far from 1 billion people using blockchain, but that's the goal. So, or more.
So you're attracting the type of people that will attract the next maybe 100x people.
Yeah, exactly. Or we help you guys, and you guys help the next million people to onboard. So
definitely, I think. Well, I guess from there, what draws you into crypto?
Yeah, so one of the things that's really fascinating is just how it's an open ecosystem, right? And that's the thing that is different from everything else. Like, I live in San Francisco. There's still a lot of Web2 builders here who basically when they start a new company, they have to compete against everybody else for users, acquiring emails, getting customers, having paid advertisement channels, all this stuff. And it's a grind, right? Like one user at a time kind of thing. Whereas in Web3, you can build on top of some other protocol, and you get access to every wallet address on a network, right? And then if you do cross-chain, multi-chain, you get every wallet address that ever exists that can interact with your protocol. So all of a sudden you have this huge, on day one, you can have an audience of millions of people, which is not possible in Web2 at all. And, the whole idea that in Web3, it's about coordination, not competition. I really think that this it'll probably take decades to change the human mindset about hey, we're not here to compete and like in the primitive sense, kill each other for the same resource, right? Like you can build your thing and I can build my thing on top of your thing, and we both benefit by coordinating together. So I really think that that'll take a long time, but that's where we're going.
I mean, I totally agree. I think a lot of people look at information as an asset that must be guarded, centralized in a system, which then you get this issue of many companies repeating the same data over and over, and you get these silos where you don't really own your data, but you're just stuck interacting with that system because that's the only system you got in your country. So
in the whole idea of open source development and not being in a walled garden, right? Not building just for yourself, but building for the whole movement that you're a part of, right?
Yeah.
Now, I guess I have a lot of questions from that about cross-chain, but I think we should first ask, what is Harmony as a chain, as a project?
Sure. So Harmony is layer 1 blockchain, means we're the base layer that supports applications and everything else built on top of it. As mentioned before, we were probably one of the first sharded and proof of stake blockchain that launched onto mainnet. And right now the transaction speed is about 2-second transaction finality, which means, when you use it, it's very fast to send transactions, very fast to get confirmation finality. And the fees are incredibly low, less than one US penny right now. So it's really for anything that needs a lot of transaction, a lot of volume, or just low fees, right? The barrier to entry is very low. I've had developers tell me that they were spending thousands of dollars like launching a smart contract on Ethereum mainnet, where they come over here and they can launch any complicated contract for $5, let's say, even with lots of interactions. So that's one where we're really passionate about onboarding new people, right? And the only way to do that is really lower the barriers to entry. Like anybody can come in with even $5, $10, and just be part of this ecosystem and grow. And of course, that's the base layer, but we're also building bridges. We have a bridge to Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, and we have a bridge to Bitcoin that is in production, but doing some final works before we launch it. And so, that we'll keep on building bridges to all the other chains so that we can be part of, embedded into the entire ecosystem.
That's awesome. I mean, you're really removing the need of having another centralized-ish party connecting different chains together, and then you're trusting them to maintain the security of your entire chain. You're actually, because you control the system, you're able to integrate it directly into the consensus algorithm.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a trustless, right? I really think that the long-term future is all about trustless bridges, not centralized custodians.
And
there's
this is
a
where
lot of the multi-sig ones. I've seen some crazy things happen now in the cross-chain world.
Like the multi-party computation, but you're really just sending the commits from a different block headers. I think at least here, you're able to take it, grab it by the horns, and decide where it goes right now, which is something that maybe projects like Ethereum can't necessarily do because there's too many parties. So they suffer from that angle that they need to rely on another person to build a more trustless system. That's awesome. I mean, speaking of systems that need to be built out, we hear the word on the street is oracles are a very important part of building applications on a blockchain. Can you tell us maybe when Chainlink?
Yeah, for sure. So we've been working with them for a long time. We actually met them like 2017, 2018. But yes, we've been working with them. They've been opening up the price feeds for some of the applications just directly, kind of in the background. We haven't announced it yet, so stay tuned on that. But it's been a very close partnership, and I know that a lot of people are waiting, and that's on our minds every week as well.
Don't worry, it's also on my DMs. I make sure to message them every day. Hey, Mike, how are you doing? Like if you're watching,
we love you. You're awesome.
I
want to
Yeah, no, it's really great that they've grown so much, and since the early days, I mean, we knew them when they were like maybe 10 people. So
Mhm.
They've grown so fast. I mean,
yeah,
not too long ago there were 10 people. Now there are like, I know they have like at least 5 hiring managers.
I mean, having a Chainlink
right.
Oracle is a little bit like being a Chainlink, a Michelin star. You know, a restaurant. You
Right.
get your own Michelin star.
Yeah,
People will drive to see you.
I
yeah.
mean, lending.
I can't
Like,
wait.
can you really have lending without a Chainlink Oracle or without an Oracle system, right?
Right. Exactly.
So I guess maybe Chainlink is not something that Harmony team is directly working on, but what are some things that you guys are working on right now? Like from last time I saw you guys back
Yeah.
at Lisbon, I saw the .country TLD. So maybe
Yeah.
we can share a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So we actually own a top level internet domain, which are
Mhm.
quite rare to own these days. And so the one that we have is .country. So you can say, let's say, QiDao.country or Harmony.country. And basically, yes, you can, like, we think of blockchains and some of these projects as countries, and DAOs will become like countries, small countries, or some of them might become very big countries. And so each of these domains will become the identity around for like these communities. And so, and you can also have your own, right? Like Ben.country could be one of them. I imagine that's pretty hard to get, but
We'll make it happen.
yeah. But exactly, like domain, like internet domain names actually will be even more popular. If you read the latest Masari 2022 thesis, it's going to be actually quite popular as the way people identify themselves online, right? And so um, you know and it's easier to get than like people used to get like pieces of land and build a palace and say, oh, this is my country and this is my palace, right? And then in the future, that'll all migrate to a digital version of that
Right.
in the metaverse.
I mean, the domains could be seen as the first NFTs, although they expire.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly yeah, that's exactly our thesis. You took the words from me, but exactly, yeah.
Awesome. So how do you see .country, the TLD, interacting maybe inside Harmony? Is it something where the resolvers within Harmony will grab information from the TLD or connecting to
Yes.
ICANN?
So we already have this setup where yes, it's both. You can connect it to your wallet as your identifier, so that you can be Pablo.country and that's your wallet address, and you also own that with ICANN, like officially. So it's both the it's a little complicated, but it is both the internet domain and the one that is on your wallet as an NFT.
Right.
Nice. So
That's
you can host
wild.
your NFT, I guess.
Would you be able to then update your TLD, like say your subdomains, through the blockchain?
Yes, you can change. You can like redirect your wallet to another subdomain. Yeah.
Like that is, it's probably a first.
Yeah, we actually have built out the website. It's at crazy.one. It's not the TLD, but it's we also own the domain crazy.one. So you could be like Pablo.crazy.one.
See, Paulo's a big guy with domains in general. So
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about.
It's like, oh man, I found this crazy domain. I can't believe it's open. I gotta get it.
Exactly. You gotta get it.
DNS and now .country and crazy.one.
Yeah.
Also, you guys just rounded up a conference, right?
We had a day one conference in San Francisco. It was very good. 400 people came out for it. 1 day event. Yeah, it was really amazing. Like the San Francisco community is definitely still very big. I would say like different than Lisbon. Lisbon, I think, was really the like how do you describe it? Like it's very vibrant energy, like very much native crypto. Whereas I think San Francisco, you see a lot of more established like Web2 projects and entrepreneurs who are coming into Web3 and figuring out what they can do. So
Right.
it's a totally different vibe, but at the end of the day, right? Like we need everybody, like the crypto natives, the new Web2 people coming in, and then users of all
I
stripes.
mean, it's
and
a lot of
kinds.
fun. I've seen a lot of fun theories coming in from these Web2 guys who are coming in with this idea of monthly burn, the how much we make per user, the cost acquisition, customer acquisition cost.
Completely different. Like the idea of success is completely different.
Like the LTV. Some projects don't even look at LTV in crypto, but we're nearing a point where we want to track an address and say how long does this address stick. And you know, the most exciting part, which goes into the Web2 to Web3, is removing the need of having to give away 30% of all the funding that you raise if you're doing a Web2 company. Just take that and give it directly to your users. No Google ads to have to go buy.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Yeah. As opposed to all these middle people with
the hosting, then
the data that they give to people.
Yeah.
It's a whole other thing. But yeah, I remember seeing you guys. Any coffee shop I went to in Lisbon, there was a light blue shirt. It was crazy. Exactly. Harmony everywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do it bigger next year too.
Bigger. Well, you'll definitely need to collaborate with a lot of projects, so we'll be there. What are some other cool collaborations you've seen so far in the Harmony space?
Yeah, so lots of just depends on where you want to look. Lots of ecosystem. Like when we were in Miami the week before San Francisco, and we had a whole ecosystem booth that was not just us, but DeFi Kingdoms and Madden NFT, which is a new NFT platform launching on Harmony, and Armoonies and all these other projects. And the same we saw in San Francisco, where like it was really, you know, all the ecosystem, not even just Harmony. Like everybody was out coming in, and like people are excited. I think there'll be a lot more next year where both Web2, like traditional companies coming in, but also like coming in from culture. We get a lot of artists and just creative people coming every day to say like, how can I get involved? I think one thing that we have a natural advantage, because we're in California, we're in San Francisco, we actually have a team of people in LA as well who are like really connected with culture, with media, and they're gonna, you know, bring more people, like bring a different majority of people to come into the space and interact and, you know, connect with us. So I think that's something that we'll see a lot more of next year.
Interesting. And how do you see them onboarding? Custodianless wallets or custody wallets, or maybe a variation of that?
Yeah, all it's gonna be all sorts of all across the spectrum. Obviously, like we're trying to go the non-custodial route, like self-custody with wallets. We are working on
onboard everyone with their little ledger, like.
No, we're actually working on a wallet. It's called the One Wallet. It's already in beta on our mainnet. It's a smart contract wallet that can be opened with Google Authenticator. So it's just a different take on wallet security. We wrote up all the research, all the audit. It's gone through multiple audits, so it's actually quite, from a security perspective, it's actually really quite good already. And next year we'll be launching the consumer version of that. Right now, anybody can actually go to the onewallet.crazy.one website and just use it. It's just a simple website wallet right now, but there will be a mobile app. There will be a much more polished version of that. But yeah, we're really excited about that. You don't need a seed phrase. You just need your Google Authenticator to log in. You have a recovery address, just like Argent has that. You can have a friend, or you can have your spouse or brother or sister or whatever to be your recovery person, and you can have set daily spending limits, so that even if like somehow the wallet gets compromised, you only lose like $10 or $100 per day, and you can recover it the same day. So we're building all these features so that the average person can onboard using a non-custodial wallet. That'll be very.
I don't see my grandma getting a
Yeah,
leg.
yeah,
Or
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I
yeah.
don't see
No,
Argent deploying another planes right now. So
yeah,
that's another
that
one.
too, right? So
Same
we
thing.
just we are only doing it because we can, we see that we can make innovation in this space. Otherwise, our job is not necessarily to build a wallet, but we
Mhm.
think we can make an impact here.
Exactly, you build it, maybe you know spark 20 other developer teams to do it themselves.
Exactly,
The
exactly.
more the
It's
merrier. You know, you
it's
want to
an
have
open,
options.
yeah, it's a complete, exactly as you say, it's an open SDK. It'll be like Android, where there's like a bajillion Android type of phones. It'll be like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be open for anybody in the world to build on.
Well, I couldn't wait. I got my own crazy.1, so now I am publicly.crazy1.
Oh, you already got it?
Yes,
It was very quick.
He works
exactly,
fast.
exactly. You just need a few tokens, and it takes a few
Yeah,
seconds actually.
it took one
One,
to
one,
one.
one.
1
Yeah.
1 11.
Um,
11. It's great.
so, what are some obstacles you see right now on your growth?
I think scaling now, like we've always been, I think we've always been a small team, a very lean team, like
Hmm.
ever since the early days. And we did a lot for a small number of people, I would say. Like I'm talking on scale, like 10 to 20 people on the team, on the core team, right? And so definitely like we can see blockchain is going to become a whole industry, not just like a few projects, right? And I think maybe like ETH Denver, I hope you guys come by for ETH Denver. It'll be thousands of people, like, and then who knows how big, if they do ETH Lisbon again, how big that's going to be next year this time,
Oh,
right? So yeah, it's gonna be huge. And so we really think a lot about how to scale, how to grow the ecosystem, both as a core team, but actually even more so as with DAOs, as you mentioned. Like we have a Portugal DAO, we have a Russia DAO now, we have a Korea DAO, we have a Spanish speaking and a French speaking DAO. So I think that's where we see the 10x growth potential, is how to scale these DAOs effectively within the Harmony ecosystem.
interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You know, you'll find Benjamin at the French DAO. No
Yes.
question.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I met a lot of your Spanish speakers in Lisbon, and
yeah. That too.
it was great.
Yeah, it's gonna be global.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what you got to do, because that's how you scale, right? You
Yeah.
seed the different communities. And
You make a
Exactly.
committee. The committee grows into a group, and then it becomes a grant recipient, and maybe even a DAO.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's we're having those same growing pains at the moment as well.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you delegate? How do you create more people?
Yeah.
It's part of the process.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Expanding the use case of a stable coin, being able to enable as many users to hold it, to trade it,
Yeah.
and access it in different platforms. It takes
Yeah.
a village.
Yeah.
You know.
So
It really does. Yeah.
we're friends here. It's just, we've known each other for a while. I think
Yeah.
maybe you could share some alpha that you wouldn't share in other podcasts. What's happening in the next 3 months at Harmony?
That people ask me this, and the answer is almost always the same. We're building at.
Okay, Lee. Okay, I think we're gonna have to censor the rest of this alpha session. So today we're gonna be launching on Harmony. So if you have a bunch of one and you haven't been wanting to spend it to make an LP, you don't know where to put it, you can lock it up on QiDao today and borrow stable coins at 0% interest against their value. Then you can take that stable coin and take it wherever you want. You can move it to other chains. You can use it in different applications on Harmony, but your one stays there. And so if it goes up in value, you still have it. Now, if you're new to Harmony, you can use bridges to move your tokens from other chains like Polygon, Ethereum, etc. It's pretty simple process. You can use any swap, pretty low fees, and just make sure to use the router function. Alrighty, guys, thanks so much for watching. Until the next time.